Hey there friends, it's Carly. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you are new here, and welcome to another cleaning motivation video. Today is Sunday and it is a beautiful sunny winter's day, however incredibly windy and actually chilly outside, so I'm glad that I am inside and getting things done and being productive. On Thursday this week we have a house inspection, and even though my house is always generally clean and tidy, I do want to get in and do a real good deep clean. So if you are after some much needed cleaning motivation, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get into the video. We are starting today's clean with me off in what is a very unusual location for me, and that is the laundry. Now typically I'm always starting off one of these cleaning videos with putting on a load of laundry, but it's not often that I'm actually starting by cleaning the laundry. So the first thing that I'm going to do is use a microfiber cloth and some vinegar to give the washing machine a really good clean out. I probably do need to actually put on a cycle with some vinegar and bicarb to actually clean out the barrel, but at this point I just wanted to clean out around the inside of the machine and then put on a load of washing. While I'm out here, I'm actually cleaning the laundry itself, so I'm going to start off by taking everything out of the laundry and giving it a good wipe down and vacuum. I've got this little shelf item here that I got from Kmart back when we lived in our old house, and I did used to use it as a bookcase prior to my books exceeding the capacity, and now I use it in the laundry as some storage. So it hasn't had a wipe out in a good long while, so I've taken everything off it and given it a good wipe down. Then it's time to use my big Dyson vacuum cleaner to go around and vacuum the laundry space, which does seem quite excessive for such a small space, but I like using this vacuum cleaner because it has one of the little nozzles that can get into the nooks and crannies and all those thin spaces. Pretty much going to town with it. I even used the brush aspect of it to vacuum down most of the walls, which weren't dirty necessarily, but did have a lot of sort of dust and lint on them. And speaking of lint, I was giving the dryer a good clean out and decided to vacuum out the lint filter and surrounds so that it would be nice and clean and fresh. My first of many loads of laundry is on, and the laundry itself is clean. So it's now time to move inside the house. While I was out in the laundry, I did grab myself some fresh bed linen, and I'm now going to start off in our room by changing our bed. Next up, it's on to the dusting. I did have on my to-do list today to take out both of the bedside tables and give a good dust behind them, which do have a tendency to accumulate a lot of dust and dirt and bits, but they are quite challenging to move, and I didn't really want to try that on my own. So instead I just dusted everything on top, and then I grabbed my long handled green sort of fluffy duster, which I typically use for the skirting timbers, and I did get in and behind them and under the bed as much as I could, which did help to refresh that space. I didn't film that. I wish I had have, because actually it ended up being quite gross.
Another area that tends to get a little bit neglected is this patch between the dining table / chairs and the back door. I do often like vacuum and mop in this area as much as I can, but with the chairs and the table in the way, I felt that things don't get necessarily as clean as I'd like. So today I moved the table and the chairs out of the way and got in there properly. This table is quite light and I was sort of maneuvering it one side to another, so it was a lot easier and more manageable to move than the bedside tables. I wasn't going to try moving the lounge or anything else, so those areas will just have to wait for another time when Dave is home and he can help me move the big furniture items to get in for a deep clean. In the kitchen, I'm starting off by clearing any of the clutter from the bench tops, which you would see me do in pretty much every single clean with me video. And then for a bit of a deep clean today, I boiled the jug and poured the boiling water down both of the sinks, and then put in a healthy dose of bicarb soda and some vinegar. And I'm just going to let that sit for a while I clean the rest of the kitchen prior to washing it down. Now I'm maneuvering myself up onto the bench top so I can reach some of those higher and hard to reach areas, and I'm going to give a little wipe down to this corner cupboard. I can generally reach the bottom shelf of it, but not the top, so I did need to stand up there. And today, to clean the range hood, I'm going to trial using one of my wipes that I typically use for the oven. I figured, well, they're both metal and they both have a tendency to get a little bit oily and grimy, so I would give it a go. And it did manage to get off some of the grime, but obviously because of the liquid that is in the wipe and not a large surface to clean, there was a lot of smear marks left over afterwards once it dried. So I will need to come back to that area later and just give it a little bit of a polish with maybe some vinegar and one of my microfiber wipes. Now that the rest of the kitchen is done, I'm going to flush out the sinks and give the sink area a good wash. So I'm actually just using dishwashing liquid here and one of my little fake scrub daddies, and I'm going to scrub all the surfaces and get off any grime, and then just flush all of the bicarb and vinegar down the sinks to help clear out and freshen up the pipes. Moving on to the living room area, I have my laptop hooked up to the television, and you can see I am watching some old school Rachel Ottenreith vlogs. I do love Rach, she's one of my favorite YouTubers. I've also been binge watching some Gemma Louise Miles old school vlogs as well, and I've got those on while I'm cleaning today. My first port of call is to kind of strip the dog's bed, and I gave it a little bit of a vacuum in some of the areas that can't go into the washing machine. And now I'm going to go around and do all my dusting and the windowsills, and then I'll move on to the lounge / coffee table area. Now, If you know my lounge saga, I cannot remove these large cushions, so I decided for a new strategy today. I've tried the, carpet/upholstery stain remover, I've tried deep peeling, I've tried vacuuming. None of those things really work. So today my strategy was that I was going to take them outside, put them in the sun, get myself a bucket of hot water and some of the stuff that you would like spray clothes with for stain remover, the Oxy Action, and give them a good scrub. So stay tuned later for my thoughts on that process. So they are currently sitting outside ready to be scrubbed while I am cleaning the rest of the living room area. I did have a vase full of dried native flowers here, and I do want to keep some of the eucalyptus stems. I also have some in my room, so I'm setting those aside and just plucked off any of the leaves down the bottom so that they'll be able to fit in the vase a lot easier. Then I'm vacuuming up my mess on the coffee table, which I did make a fair bit, and giving it a good wipe down. So here I am outside with my experiment. I've got this hard bristle brush and I've got the Oxy Action spray in the bucket. It's got hydrogen peroxide as its active ingredient. And then I'm also going to spray a little bit extra directly onto the cushion and scrub that in as well. Now, you will not see an after of this, action that took me quite some time out in the sunshine. And the reason for that is it was an epic fail. So essentially the spray was quite effective and there are parts of the cushions that are nice and bright and clean. But because I was essentially scrubbing the water around and I didn't have any device to actually sort of suck out the dirt and the dirty water, there are basically clean patches and really large dirty smears. So it wasn't a successful mission, and I feel like it's just more incentive for me to buy that little Hoover carpet and upholstery cleaner that I had my eye on and I was talking about in my previous Clean With Me video. Okay, the spare room is now done. I've cleaned off the mirror in there and dusted and reorganized once again my bookcase. I've also put all the bits and pieces that I had sitting down on the floor up so that I could get in and give it a good vacuum. And now I've moved on to the bathroom section of this video. So obviously I'm doing my usual toilet clean, but I also filled up a little tub here with hot soapy water, and I've got a microfiber cloth, and I'm going to go around the toilet area and give the walls a really good wipe down. This is essential if you have a boy living in the house, and you will know exactly what I mean by that. Now that area is done, I'm moving on to the actual bathroom area, and I've got my exit mold here. I'm not going to spray it throughout the entire shower, but I am going to spray it in the lines of some areas of the grout that were looking just a little bit grotty, just to freshen those up a bit. I do have my shower power and my scrubber that I'm going to put in the shower, and I will give that a good clean tonight when I actually have a shower. I like doing that because then it's a sort of a 2-in-1 and I'm not wasting water. And then I'm moving on to wiping down the vanity, and I've still got my hot soapy water and my microfiber cloth, and I'm also going to go around and wipe down all of the bathroom walls. These weren't dirty per se, but just with the hot air and condensation, they tend to get a little bit dusty, and I just wanted to wipe off any of the dust. All of the main cleaning jobs are done, and now it is time to go around and give the house a good vacuum and mop. While I was cleaning the house, the dishwasher was on. That is now done, so it is time for me to unstack the dishwasher. I also had 3 different vases around the house with flowers in them. Some of the flowers were dead and needed to be chucked out, and the others, like I said earlier, I did want to save my eucalyptus stems, so I'm going to wash out all of these vases and then combine all my eucalyptus stems so that I can put those in our room as a little decor piece. Here are 2 loads of washing that are now done, so I'm going to fold those up and put them away. I also have the dog's inside blankets currently in the dryer, and then I decided to put on his outside blankets as well, which are in the washing machine. Thank you guys so much for joining me on today's speed clean cleaning motivation video. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe down below. I put out new videos every single week. With that being said, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.